Welcome back, everyone. Not sure if I'm battling a hangover or it's just a HIA. Wow, what a weekend of injuries. Here we are. This is NRL Physio's post here. We've got two different pages of players that are out over the last couple of days, but we'll just roll through a bunch of those. Obviously, Pap, Cleary, RFM were all last week, along with Madison. Edwards on the other night just broke his hand, so he's going to be out for a while. Eisenhuth did his ribs. Keary, ACL, Lamb's clear. It's all been said and done that he actually did his MCL, and I thought it was going to be a lot worse than that. But Lindsay Collins had a HIA, so one to monitor. Raleigh just a little shoulder issue before the game. Josefsky's hurt his leg. Morgan's shoulder, and there's a chance that we might my poor Cowboys might lose him forever. It looks like it's something that's lingering and might have to be forcing him into retirement, which will be very terrible for the squad, but also for him because he doesn't deserve that at all. But Bradman Best has a bit of an elbow issue, and it looks like it could be out for an extended period of time, so he'd definitely be a trade out. Ben Hunt turns out he's fractured his fibula, which is pretty bad in itself. Obviously, the one of the biggest bones there, but going to be out for an extended period of time. And if you traded him in, that's unfortunate for you. Hudson Young's hurt his knee. I haven't heard too much about that yet, but he didn't play yesterday. So those that had him and Pap and Cleary, etc., have copped some crap this week already. Then we got Tarpany. Rolled his ankle. Should be okay from what he said. He's just like, oh, there's no point playing the rest of that game. Ryan James and Sebastian Chris headbutt each other. That didn't look very good. They were lying on top of each other at one point, both completely out. So James only just came on. Chris had got a couple of points already, but yeah, unfortunate if you have any of those guys. Croker dislocated his finger, but he should be okay. Curtis Scott played literally the whole game with a broken rib because he couldn't go off. They already had three, Tarpany, James, and Chris off. So it depends how he's looking for the next few weeks. Hiku did his MCL. Marshall King's confirmed he's broken his foot. Sione Katoa from the Sharks did his MCL last night. Mitch Moses had a HIA. Graham, Nakora, and Kennedy for the Sharks had a HIA early in the game as well. And then Mike Acevo had a HIA, but did happen to come back and play the rest of the game. So what a night of footy. I didn't think that we could get any worse from Friday, but we did. And if you're smiling like me, you did happen to miss all of those injuries and all of those HIAs. Thank goodness. A little bit of luck coming our side this time, so I'll take that where it comes. But if you didn't, then there's a few questions to answer over the next week or so. But we'll jump in and analyze a bunch of the guys, and hopefully I can help you find some clarity around that. But guys, if you're enjoying these videos, please hit like and subscribe. Really appreciate it, and we'll go from there. So Ryan Sutton happened to get 73 minutes, which won't happen very regularly, but well done. You beat out RTS, who was the absolute Lord and Savior yesterday. 88 points. He's back, guys. Yes, a lot of his points, especially during the back end, would have come from him, just them trying to come back and feeling like they had the momentum in amongst some tired forwards and stuff. So ended up with 6 offloads and 10 tackle breaks. So, but for someone that's going to make it 250 meters, you'd be hoping for at least 3+ tackle breaks. And we spoke about him the last couple of weeks that he only managed to get 4 tackle busts, and that's very rare for RTS. If you're making 200 meters, you're expecting a lot more tackle breaks. But perfect game for him. Finally got the try that he's been looking for. He got close in an earlier play, and then an awesome try saver a game saver at the end to knock the ball out of Rapana's hands. So awesome work from RTS. And if you started with him, please, I hope you kept him. So if you're people looking to trade him out for greener pastures, as they say, try to move him up to Teddy or move him down to Latrell or something like that. So anyway, did really well, and very happy with his efforts as he's in my squad. Nico Rima looks really good. Had a really good start to the year. I've seen just under 60 now, so a bunch of scores in the 50s and then a 73 to boot. So a nice try. Long range try for him. Just did a bit of everything, and that's kind of what you'd expect from him. Not massive on the kick meters because you have someone like O'Sullivan there now. He's going to take more of that role, just very similar to what CHT was doing. But 120 meters, couple of tackle breaks, 18 tackles, bit of everything. Try assists and the lot with goal kicks as well. So he's a pretty cool option at 550k if you're looking for someone around that price. Then he's probably your man, but he's going to be up near 600k after this score. So Jordan Rapana has proved me wrong a little bit. He's looking great. 53.7 average for someone that was 420k at the start of the year. Well played. Center and wing fullback dual. He's doing everything. It's very much similar to what he was like back when, back before he went overseas and was absolutely dominating here for the Raiders. So well done to him and anyone who picked him up. But Toby Harris we move on to, and a nice 62 in his 80 minutes. Got the nice try assist offload to RTS as well. So I was like, yes, for the RTS try, but no for Toby Harris getting the try assist. But we'll take that for sure. But he's the your most consistent guy in the game at the moment. 62, always getting 62 every week. So well done to him. And any owners, you can rest easy every time he's playing the game. Whiten comes in with a try. Welcome back to some good scores with a season average pretty low in 43 and dropping some price. George Williams did a great job again. Scored a try, did a bit of everything. Very limited in his demerits, which is great. Only neg 4 to go along with his good start. But well done to anyone who picked him up. Adam Fennell-Blake picks up a try and improves his average just slightly. But again, he's not someone that is tackling too hard or anything like that. He's never going to be a complete gun, as he'll need around that 40 tackles, 35 to 40 tackles to be there. Josh Hudson played a much better game, 42 tackles, 2 try assists. Well done to him if you have him. But again, he's not going to be that full-time option. Wade Egan, another 55, so really good for those that picked him up. He's going to start making you some cash now. He's definitely not a trade-in target, but he's going to be up near 500k and going to make you some cash. And then you got some of the Raiders forwards. Soliola we don't need to speak about unless there's some really long-term injuries for some of the guys that in that game, but they're only HIAs. Papali'i, 50 in his 69 minutes, so I had to play big minutes and didn't get a massive score, which is a bit annoying. Only got the 1 tackle break and 1 offload, so you would have hoped with 69 minutes he'd be up in around the 60 mark, but didn't get that. Just Savanga. Sean O'Sullivan will spend a bit of time on. Picked up 50 in his 80 minutes, so obviously for them, the Raiders dominated the first half, and he just sort of got a little bit of base stats, but then it all started happening a little bit in the second half, and he picked up four tackle busts, 111 meters, so ran the ball a fair bit, which is really positive signs for anyone looking to pick him up. And he was slightly the more dominant kicker over Cody Nico Rima. Tackled well, 19 tackles for 1 miss, so you can expect scores for him around that 40 mark, I'd imagine, as a safety. Not 50s every week, but obviously around the 40, and then the chances to get some attacking stats there too. So really positive signs for O'Sullivan. I think a lot of people will pick him up this coming week. Medoc Masilla got a try, not something we want to talk about. Pompey did really well again, picked up a try saver, a nice try as well. So good stuff to him, but probably not an option at 406k. There's a bunch of other good centers and wing fullbacks. Sirinen happened to come back and score a try, which is good, but moved to the bench and didn't happen to get those big minutes. But yeah, some interesting and worrying signs for Sirinen owners. Leeson Arme are still killing it, so up 73k, be up at about 100k after this. Gains and 30 tackles and 54 meters there, so they did a lot of defensive work, especially during his first stint. But that's it there with Katoa. He's losing some good cash for us, so if you can hopefully see him around the 400s, and we can think about picking him up. Good to see Tom Starling get a game. Was the unsung hero from last year's scoring in fantasy. So he'll lose some cash, and hopefully, if he happens to come down a lot more, and then there's an injury to Hodgson or something, then he could become an option. Bunty Afo, only 29 minutes for 27, was annoying for anyone who has him. Simonson, a few people had to play in this week, so you'll take the 27, that's for sure. Nickel Clockstar is losing some cash. Croker comes back. Fusatua, again, terrible. Sebastian Chris and Ryan James. So they're going to, unfortunately, lose a bit of cash, or Ryan James will probably say the same. That's all for that game. So let me know what you guys thought of that one. It was a really entertaining one, that's for sure, especially watching the Warriors come back and RTS making a run every three runs and getting an offload or a try or something in there. So that was good on my end. But move on to the Broncos and the Bulldogs. And it was really cool to see a couple of these young Broncos players do well and them actually being really excited when they won their first game in, what has it been, almost a year. But Bulldogs it was a very sad sight to see. There was one shining light in Adam Elliott again, but yeah, that's him every week at the moment. But Herbie Farnworth was amazing. 270 meters, looks sharp off the foot. Him and Osako was awesome. So Osako was in everything. Farnworth is an interesting option if he's going to be hitting totals like that. But you saw in those first few games when they don't play that well, he's going to get in the 20s to 30 and not make any cash. So someone to think about, but with the dual position. But it was just very much a standout game. Elliott's very quickly becoming a keeper. I think he's going to keep that 80 minutes. Obviously, Fatala Mariner's not coming back anytime soon. He just has the attacking upside as well as the work ethic. If he's playing 80 minutes, he's going to get around that 30 to 40 tackles somewhere and up over 100 meters every game. So there's your 40-odd base, when he's already priced in the mid-40s. And then you've got attacking upside. Didn't score a try on the weekend, but he could have easily. 2 tackle breaks, 3 offloads, 3 turnover tackles. He tackles hard. He hits hard. So, really good upside for someone like Elliott, who's dual position and not super expensive and probably won't play Origin. I think he's going to be someone that's going to be on a lot of people's radars this week, and I think fair enough. Go for it. Masako 70, awesome work. For those that have him in their squad, really, really good. Pick up for you. He's now averaged 50 over the first three games, which is going to get him some nice price rises. Paddy Carrigan, I hope people didn't steer clear of him. Still only got 62 minutes, which is fine, but a much better game for the middles. And next you can tell with Pangai and Turpin, for example. Pangai also quickly becoming a keeper. Already kind of was at 733, averaging mid-50s, but dual position mid and edge, and very regularly hitting in the 60s when he plays big minutes, which he got on the weekend at 57. He will definitely be a keeper as well. So him and Elliott are very interesting options for anyone thinking about them. Jake Turpin, I hope people didn't get rid of him with the news that Dearden was going to come on and play. Remember, they're halfback and 5'8", they're on thin ice, so there's more of a chance that he's going to come in and play for those guys than he was for someone like Turpin. So I'm not saying I told you so. Like, there was a slight worry that he could have taken Turpin's minutes, but he wasn't the one that was under fire. It's the halves. So Turpin still picked up 49 tackles for 0 misses, 2 turnover tackles. Again, this is what happens when you're making 50 tackles, like I spoke about with McCulloch. Kicked out a dummy half a little bit, which was good, but didn't have to do too much else to get 66, which is great, and he'll start making some cash again. Coates and Milford. Milford was much better this week, so the on and off, but a 43 average over the first 3 games you'll take if you own him. If you traded him out last week, unfortunate. That's all I can say. But just much better. Only a couple of misses, a couple of errors, and went from there. Glenn's sneakily playing really well and getting 80 minutes every week and scoring well, so good stuff to him. Croft is somehow averaging just over 50 when the Broncos have been pretty bad, so very much a base stat man and good stuff if you picked him up. He'll be up at like 540, 550 this week. Jackson, here it is. Back down to earth, unfortunately. The keeper that he supposedly is not here. Didn't get the 80 minutes this week. 48 points, all basically in tackles, 70 run meters, so 45 tackles. Had one miss really early in the game, so I was like, oh, there's the one. But that's where he's at, and I think that's more of his normal scoring, 45 to 50, and he's probably about 60 to 70k undervalued if that's the case. But I wouldn't be rushing him in. I think Elliott's more of a priority, obviously. Yes, he scored more this week, but I think before this week he had more upside than what Jackson did. Jordan Ricky just doing what he needs to for the squads. 1 try save, 35 tackles, 82 meters. Didn't get any attacking stats this week, but that's fine. If you can pick up 40-odd without that, then awesome work. Flanagan at 45, so didn't have a great game in terms of helping them win, which translates to that extra 10 to 15 points for him. Waddell got 80 minutes on the edge, for anyone who still has him. David Mead back to some decent scores, so hope you didn't trade him. Went back to playing pretty well, but obviously they had a good game and they're not going to be like that every week. So well done if you decide to keep him. He'll make a little bit of cash again. But moving down, Hetherington had a higher score this week. Well done to him. Hopawade is going to be dropping a tiny bit of cash, but not too much. Just getting 30 every week. Tessie New 31. We'll take that without really any attacking stats. Had a turnover tackle, which is cool. A couple of offloads, but other than that, didn't have to do too much. Which, if they play a little bit better, he should get some more attacking stats, and you'll keep playing him. Averillo with 29. Again, a lot of us had to play him this week, and we'll take that. He actually ran the ball a bit more, got 101 meters. So I'd look to keep him in your squad. If that's the case, he's going to start running the ball, especially in that drier track. Then he's going to be a cool option for anyone. A bunch of people picked up Kotrick this week, and it was just a bit of an unfortunate week for him. He got 180 meters, but only 3 tackle breaks. No, obviously, attacking stats. But again, it's going to be hard for the outside backs when you're getting smashed. So I wouldn't be stressing about Kotrick. He'll probably come out and get 50 to 60 next week. Moving along, Allen is still stinking it up. Didn't come on and scored a try in his 7 minutes, so well done to him. Stimson, our great man from last year, all the way down the bottom. Anyway, that's that game. Let me know your thought on the Broncos prospects there. And moving on to the last game, and this one was an interesting one with all the HIAs and all the injuries. But some big news was obviously Mitch Moses going out with their HIA. He should be fine, but again, it's just, when you're getting that low score in your team, you kind of, the Keary situation was a bit better because you pretty much got a full game out of him and then he gets injured. So you can just, you obviously have to burn a trade, but you can just straight swap him. Whereas the ones that are early on the game are such a punish to your situation. And then if they actually are injured too and they're out for a bunch of weeks, it just makes it even worse. So I feel for anyone that had someone like Moses in their squads this week, but we'll move on. Campbell Gillard picked up a try and got 68, so it was cool for him. He's going to be that up and down, big score, little score kind of thing with him. Gutho, much better this week, 66. Did a bit of everything. 280 run meters was crazy, even more than what RTS picked up. So good work for him. Nia Corey, how good's he been looking? Just filling up the stat sheet. 19 tackles, 2 misses, 6 tackle breaks, 3 offloads, 188 meters. Like crazy. 66 points, and he's going to make some cash, but he's in your mids, and if he keeps playing centers, he's going to get that dual position, for example. But is he going to be worth it? He'll probably be like over 500k from that point. And for a center, I'm not looking for him with the chances of Wanga Blake or anyone coming back. Ferguson had another good game, so good game, bad game, good game, and very much like the Milford scenario there. But cool to see him getting a couple of tries, and when he does that, he's going to have massive games. He's good for a couple hundred meters in these types of games and some big tackle breaks. So well done to him. Aaron Woods back up with a decent game. Brown had to step up a little bit and picked up a 56. So he'll be holding steady with his price now, and that's kind of where I expect him all year. All right, Reid Mane comes in with a 53 in his 80 minutes. So this is the type of game that's going to happen with him. If he doesn't get attacking stats and they're a bit more of the dominant side, then his tackles are going to be lower. And he's not going to do too much there, but he still picked up 2 offloads and a forced turnover tackle with a couple of kicks out of dummy half. So for him, 53, remember I said that's going to be probably closer to where he's normally going to be at. Going forward is around that 55 to 60. So please don't expect hundreds every week. That's all I'm saying. And don't be turned off by that either, because that 53 is still fine. Especially when you got someone like Damien Cook going for 47, who's about the same price now. All right, Toby Rudolph was much better. Nathan Brown, 52 in the 65. Got more minutes, but still just not stepping up, surprisingly. Like he runs for so many meters. He needs to get both the runs and the tackles going. Get the big meters and then 40 tackles, and he'll get that 60 or 70 and the odd attacking stat, but it's just not happening at the moment. Again, not something you want to worry about because it's very much like the Alex Twal. They're still scoring 50 every week, so we've got many more issues in our squad than him. Blake Braley, again, doing okay, but his brother's doing much better. Isaiah Papali'i gets his spot on the edge, plays almost full game of 74 minutes. Just doesn't have the attacking stats or the run meters in this game compared to what he did through the middle, and that's something I was worried about a little bit. I still expect him to average about 50, which he did, but the upside with the extra minutes, he's just on the edge. He's not going to be barreling through the middle there and doing everything that he needed to in those first few games. So still, obviously, a decent option. Any scores around the 50 mark will get him up closer to 700k. So if you picked him up this week, then well done, and there's no issues there. Moved down to Townsend and just had a bit of a lighter game, obviously, with them not doing as well. But it's good to see him making some big tackles and some big kick meters, and anything else other than that is gravy. Obviously, if he gets a try assist or gets some goals, then he's up in the 50s. So still making cash for anyone who brought him in, but I think that was the last chance to bring him in. Moylan, if you kept him, well done. He picked up a 41, so 28 tackles for 2 misses is pretty crazy. So they obviously defended a lot, and without those missed tackles, did really well. But picked up a couple of tackle breaks as well to sneak in there. So well done to him. Junior Paulo, much worse of a game for him at 47 minutes. So with them dominating, especially through the back end, he didn't have to play as many minutes. And you'll see that with a bunch of the forwards that they'll cycle through some minutes sometimes. They might get the 60 odds for a couple of games and they'll go, all right, we'll give you a bit of a rest now. It happened with Isaiah Yeo. He got a couple of 80 minutes games at the start And then they went, all right, this game you can have 55 and have a rest. And people were like, no, I had him in for 80. But that's just something to think about with a few of these forwards is they'll cycle through. So that might have been his week of a little bit of a rest. Campbell Gillard's had that in previous weeks. So Paulo will probably come back and have a big one the next week. Kafusi, make a little bit of cash with that 39. Well done. Sivo, 37. Opacek. Does anyone else just feel really safe having him in your side? Like he just hasn't done any attack yet. No attacking stats, and he's averaging 35. So really happy with his output. He'll make a little bit more cash, but I'm just waiting for the game where he scores a try or gets a few try assists there, and I think he'll do really well. But really safe with him in the squad. 16 tackles, no misses, just a little bit of attacking stats, over 100 meters gained. Well done to him. Our last few, Kennedy has been good for coaches, but got the HIA issue and had to go off just before half time. And then Mitch Moses, so 18 and 26. He was prepping himself for another 55 to 60 game, but unfortunately goes down injured, but should be okay. And then Wade Graham as well had the HIA and he didn't come back. So annoying for those people that own them, but there you go, guys. That's the theory with the squad at the moment. My team obviously missed all that and improved a fair bit, which is good. Still got a bunch of players today, and then we've got the People's team sticking pretty solid again. Missed out on most of that, but didn't have RTS, for example. And then the alternates has been really, really strong as well, and missed out on Welch and no Alvaro and things like that. So I believe Fafita is captain this week, so that'll be interesting against the Cowboys this afternoon. But we'll see how all that pans out. I hope your teams are doing well. Let me know how you're going in the comment section, and just please hold off on asking who I trade out for who until after the games are done for the week, as we aren't sure. Well, I'm not sure what's going to happen with team lists and stuff like that. So please wait till team lists are done and then ask me some questions. And obviously, I'm very across making a video for the majority of those potential trade options. But please go back and check in on these the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday wrap ups each and every week. But I hope you enjoyed that, guys, and we'll see you in the next one. Have a good day.